for me, it was a college. I was in college, and I was doing asbestos abatement. And so during college, I had my own apartment and everything, and I was doing asbestos abatement. And back in the 80s, before mold was gold in the 90s, it was asbestos. And all of the government buildings in the United States had to have asbestos removed. And so huge. Think about that as a just an unbelievable. And so I was just a kid in college, but I was back then making $25 an hour in 1984 and 85, and so I would make enough money during the summer to pay for my school, my apartment, and my life. And so I was like, woo,
Absolutely.
So I was a kid with the apartment, but I had all my rooms rented out. Each room was rented out. In fact, I had a walk-in closet at one time that was rented out also, I think for $50 a month. And so I got somebody living in my closet, but it's it's a long story. But anyway, I was always good at project management, and we had some of the guys that we were doing asbestos abatement went to work for this company called MF Bank, the restoration company, and specifically Banks Environmental is what it was at the time. It was around just for a little while, and this was in 85-ish, and I was always good at project management, always good at managing people, always good at managing time, and always good at communicating. And so these guys are like, "Hey, Tom, you got to come on. You got to come with us. This fire water damage restoration." And I was like, "What?"
Foreign language.
I was like, "What is fire and water damage restoration?"
Yeah.
Because back then, actually, I wasn't the only one. In fact, today you can actually, some people outside of our industry don't even realize that this is actually a business. In fact, my family for years, actually, I think some of my family still to this day, they don't know what the heck I actually do. And so next thing you knew, I went from, I was in Las Vegas at the time. I was going to school in Las Vegas and living in Las Vegas. And next thing you know, I was in Dallas, Texas with a dry sponge in my hand. And I was on a fire damage in a small factory, in a little metal building, maybe 20,000 square feet. And, metal, when those uninsulated metal buildings that you're cleaning now with a dry sponge, it's miserable. And I found out what fire and water damage was, because here I am with a dry sponge in my hand going, dang, what am I doing here? And been in the business ever since.